Enough is enough. We are going back to basics. There's so much information that bombards your head when it comes to weight loss. I have lost 66 pounds on this journey, so I know what works. So why do I go astray and try other things? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I calculate my calories and macros to lose weight. Now, there are two concepts we want to focus on. Number one, calories is king. Calories, calories, calories. We are going to focus on going into a caloric deficit. And number two, protein is king. Protein is so important on this weight loss journey, especially for someone who works out the way I do. Now, we want to make sure we are consuming enough protein while in a caloric deficit. In order to calculate your calories, you're going to need two things. One, your BMR, and two, your TDEE. All right, let's start off with BMR. Your BMR stands for your basal metabolic rate. That is the amount of energy your body expends while at rest. Your BMR is determined by factors such as your age, weight, and height, and it varies from person to person. I just looked back at the footage and pulled back my hair because it looked like I was naked there. I'm not naked, I'm wearing a tank top here. Anyway, let's get to TDEE. TDEE stands for your total daily energy expenditure, and that is the amount of energy you burn in a day. And this is dependent on your activity level. Now, in order to calculate your caloric deficit, you're going to need to know your BMR and your total daily energy expenditure. Step one, calculate your basal metabolic rate. Step two, use the basal metabolic rate to determine your total daily energy expenditure. Now, I'm going to show you how I do that with my numbers. Let's jump into it. All right, to calculate your BMR, you can use the website called bmrcalculator.org. I'll have links in the description below, so don't you worry. Now, the BMR number I'm going to use is going to be from the Renpho app, and the Renpho app is basically linked to the Renpho scale. It is a scale that measures your fat percentage, your bone mass, your water mass, etc. Anyway, my BMR number from that was 1930 calories. Once you have that number, you are going to use it to determine your total daily energy expenditure. Now, this is dependent on your activity level. If you are sedentary, you are going to multiply your BMR by 1.2. If your activity level is considered light, meaning you work out 1 to 3 days a week, you're going to multiply your BMR by 1.375. Now, the number I used to calculate my activity level was moderate, meaning I work out 3 to 5 times a week. Now, that means I'm going to multiply my BMR by 1.55. So let's get that done. I like to go old school and use pen and paper because your brain tends to retain information better when you do it this way. So anyway, so there's my BMR at 1930, and I'm going to multiply that by a factor of 1.55, which is moderate exercise, 3 to 5 days per week. And I get 2,991. Now that is the number of my TDE. Now, once I have my BMR and my TDEE, I can use those numbers to determine how many pounds I can lose in a week safely. My goal is to lose weight and build muscle at the same time. And for individuals who have a body fat percentage of more than 26%, which is me, I'm at 28.8% right now, those individuals can lose up to 1.5% of their weight in a week safely and still maintain their muscle mass. As of today, my weight is at 223 pounds. So we are going to multiply 223 pounds by 1.5%. So when I multiply 223 by 1.5%, we get 3.345. We are just gonna round that to 3.3 pounds a week. Now, 3.3 pounds a week is the amount of weight I can lose in a week while not detrimenting any lean muscle loss. Now, 1 pound equals 3,500 calories. Now, considering I want to lose 3.3 pounds a week, we are going to multiply 3.3 by 3,500. So the amount of calories I need to burn in a week in order to burn off 3.3 pounds is 11,550 calories. Now, multiplying those two numbers together gets you the amount of calories you need to burn in a week. It's really important to look at things on a weekly basis because there are some days where you may want to eat a bit more and there are some days where you want to eat a bit less. It's important to have kind of like a weekly calorie bank so you're aware of where you are in the moment. Now we're gonna take that number and divide it by 7. Why 7? Because there are 7 days in the week. We wanna find out our daily caloric deficit. Now, my daily caloric deficit is 1,650 calories. So every day I need to be in a caloric deficit of 1,650 calories. Now I have my caloric deficit. I do not have how many calories I need to consume in a day. And in order to figure that out, you basically take your total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE, and you subtract that from your caloric deficit. For example, I'm gonna take my TDEE of 2,991 calories and subtract that by my deficit of 1,650 calories. And when I do that, I basically get the amount of calories I can consume in a day to lose 3.3 pounds a week. So 2,991 minus 1,650 equals 1,341 calories. Now, I don't want to hear anything about that being, oh, that is too low of your calories. You're gonna need more calories because of the way you work out. Listen, I've tried the larger calorie approach. I've tried it. It doesn't work for my body. This is what works for me. Does that mean I'm gonna consume 1,341 calories every day for the rest of my life? No, this is a temporary cut phase. We are going to do this for 3 months max, and then we're gonna put this body back on maintenance so I can recharge myself. Also, I got inspiration from this after watching Gracie's Journey's recent video, and she talked about how her trainer put her on 1,400 calories a day. And in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what worked for me. That's when I was losing the weight for me. Now, 1,400 is her number. This is my number. And I'm gonna use this number as a guide. And remember, we are gonna look at the weekly calorie consumption. There are gonna be days where I consume more calories, and there are gonna be days where I consume less calories. But that is okay. I was looking back at my MyFitnessPal history, and you can see the fluctuations of my calories while I was in a process of really losing weight, dropping 2 to 3 pounds a week. So this is just a temporary measure. Don't freak out. I'm really tired of so many opinions in my ears when I know this is what has worked for me. Now, back then I was aiming for 1,600 and something calories. However, this time around, I'm gonna start off with 13. And then if I need more or I need to chill down the weight loss, I will move it up based on the amount of weight I'm going to lose in a week. So instead of trying to lose my max weight a week, which is 3.3 pounds, maybe I'll go down to 2 pounds. So if I go down to 2 pounds, that means my entire caloric calculations shift upwards. So I think that is around 1,600 calories, but I haven't done that calculation yet. However, I will. Now, I'm not going to be consuming 1,341 calories of just anything. Macros are so crucial. Studies have actually shown that you can lose weight and build muscle at the same time if you consume an adequate amount of protein. And that adequate amount of protein is determined by your body weight. Now, the study that I am going to quote is called "How Much Protein Should You Eat a Day for Weight Loss?" So in order for fat loss to happen while building muscle, you need to be consuming 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So let's calculate my numbers. I'm gonna use 0.8 because I cannot consume 223 grams of protein a day. So 223 times 0.8 comes to 178.4. We're just gonna round that to 178. To determine how many calories are 178 grams of protein, we are gonna multiply that by 4. Why? Because 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. So 223 pounds times 0.8 equals 178. Then we take that number and we multiply it by 4. So 712 calories must come from protein. Now, to determine the amount of calories I need to consume from fat, we are gonna multiply my caloric daily number, so 1,341, by 25%. Why? You want to be able to get 25 to 30% of your calories from fat. So the amount of calories I need to consume from fat is 335 calories. Now, carbohydrates will make up the remainder of my calories. So I just simply add my amount of protein in calories plus my amount of fat in calories. And then I take that number and I subtract it by my daily caloric goal. So let's show you. Okay, so the amount of protein I need to consume in a day in calories is 712. We are gonna add that to the amount of fat that I need to consume in calories, which is 335. That gives us a number of 1047. Now, I take this number and I subtract it from my daily caloric goal of 1341. And when I do that, I get the remainders of calories left, and that will be the amount of calories I consume from carbohydrates. And that is the remainder of calories I need to get from carbohydrates. All right, we'll take this from MyFitnessPal. 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrates also equals 4 calories. And 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. So in order to convert your calories to grams, you simply use these metrics to do so. Now, as you can see, this plan turned out to be a low carb, a lowish fat, and a high protein diet. Now, this is just the plan for now. This can change if I decide that I maybe have to reduce my weight loss to 2 pounds a week, or if my body's not responding the way I want it to. And in that situation, I would obviously increase my calories. And in doing so, I'd probably increase the amount of fat I'm taking in. I don't like to sacrifice fat. Fat is great for you. It's great for your brain and all that. There's a reason why essential fatty acids exist. There's also a reason why essential amino acids exist. There is no such thing as essential carbs, so I'm willing to sacrifice the carbs. However, you can do this plan how you see fit. And remember, don't substitute my numbers for your numbers. We are all different. Go through the calculation. I'll have a step-by-step process in the description below. Now, I know this video might be a bit controversial because everyone has an opinion on how to calculate calories and macros. However, this is how I do it. If you have an opinion, drop it in the comments below. I would love to know. And if you liked the video, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button if you're new here, as I'm currently on a journey to lose 100 pounds. I'm 66 pounds down and I'm ready to tackle these last 40-ish stubborn pounds. Oh my God, they've been so stubborn. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.